from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
And the fact is, I didn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. Right now, I'm going through a confusing time with all these charges and stuff. But yes, I loved her.
We begin tonight with breaking news as the man facing murder and homicide charges surrounding the death of a Fargo woman says he didn't do it. Sheldon Davis sits in the Cass County Jail, and tonight he spoke with Valley News Live.
He was arrested yesterday and is expected to be formally charged Monday with killing 52-year-old Denise Marie Anderson. Her body was found with traumatic injuries after a fire was put out in an upstairs North Fargo apartment. Authorities say that rigor mortis had set in. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero spoke with Davis less than an hour ago and joins us from the Cass County Jail. Joshua?
Mike and Andrew, I want to tell you that I sat with Sheldon Davis inside that jail cell. We talked for about 30 minutes, and he came out verbally swinging. He was defiant and adamant that he never touched nor he killed Anderson. He says all the accusations against him are false. He claims to have never been anywhere near the apartment where police say she died. He faces murder and arson charges. Davis said they had only been dating for about 7 months, and that they actually went out the night before she died. He says accusations made by Anderson's son in an exclusive interview that we have just didn't happen. Davis wants his day in court to prove his innocence and for all the facts to come out. He called the experience confusing because he never expected to be behind bars. He's also apologetic for the family and friends of Anderson for what happened. We questioned Davis about his friend. Now, we spoke with his friend also in an exclusive interview who says Davis admitted to the killing. Here's what he had to say.
Your friend admitted or said that you admitted to him that you killed her. You saying your friend is lying?
Yes, I am. Even if I was guilty, I wouldn't do something like that. I would never admit to somebody like him that I'd done something like that. And furthermore, I didn't do nothing like that and wouldn't do nothing like that.
Again, during that 30-minute interview, we pressed Davis and told him about the interview that we had with her son, Nicholas Berlin, where he shared with us photos of his mother who was allegedly beaten by him. And he says that no one ever saw him hit her, although you need to be seen of hitting someone to actually have happened. Reporting live in the Cass County Jail, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Joshua. To watch the entire jailhouse interview with the accused murderer, Sheldon Davis, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
She said, if I die, Sheldon did it. It just seems like they just kind of gave up on her and let her go, and I think it was easier for Sheldon to find my mom.
The son of a murdered Fargo woman is struggling tonight to understand what went wrong. In an exclusive interview with Valley News Live, Nicholas Berlin says that the system let his mom down.
He referenced a history of violence involving Sheldon Davis, referencing the pain he caused his mom, Denise Anderson. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has more from Berlin and the problem of domestic abuse in our community. Courtney?
Beat my mom to death. He beat her unconscious the first time, then they beat her till she's gone.
Sheldon Davis's criminal history shows a pattern of abuse that includes violation of protection order, terrorizing, and stalking. Davis was in and out of jail and underwent psychiatric treatment. Documents show that it involved more than one woman and in some instances spanned over several years. That kind of violence can leave victims not only abused but feeling like they are trapped. The program director at the Rape and Abuse Crisis Center in Fargo says that before victims can get help, they need to understand what domestic violence is.
It's a pattern of behavior. It's coercive, controlling, intimidation behavior used to control the actions of someone else.
Mila Corbell goes on to say that red flags include controlling what you do, where you go, who you're with, and even where you work. In the Anderson case, her son indicated that the abuse experienced by his mom grew over time.
Kept escalating into, stalking my mom, following her, calling her work, smashing out her window.
Experts say victims wind up staying in a dangerous relationship, becoming trapped in an abusive cycle, something that Nicholas Berlin says happened to his mom.
She said, if I die, Sheldon did it. I was like just baffled. I was like, why would you say something like that? Because it's just so out of this world.
Corbell says sometimes to be silent is easier than talking about it. She encourages victims to reach out.
People can come as they choose, but there's not conditions. If they don't show up, we don't call them. We don't reach out to them. We let people come here by choice.
This could have been prevented. My mom's death could have been prevented.
If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic abuse, there are many services out there that you can turn to. In Fargo, for example, the Rape and Abuse Crisis, YouthWorks, and the YWCA are just a few options. Also, keep this in mind. The person needing help needs to seek help. In other words, they need to get in contact with the provider. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Courtney. We have links and phone numbers to all of those places she mentioned. It's on our website, valleynewslive.com.
A U.S. Marine is facing several charges, including murder in the death of Lance Corporal Riley Kuznia, the 20-year-old from Carlstead, Minnesota, who was killed after he was shot in the head at Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. on New Year's Day. Lance Corporal Andrew Johnson is facing charges, including murder, involuntary manslaughter, and negligent homicide. Johnson, while on active duty, is accused of removing his pistol, pointing that pistol at Kuznia, and pulling the trigger in jest, shooting him in the head. He's scheduled to appear on August 22nd on charges.
Bemidji police are asking for help locating a 16-year-old. Skyla Barrett was last seen at 705 18th Street Northwest in Bemidji today around 12:30. Authorities say it appears that she left voluntarily. She is 5'3", 140 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair. She was last seen wearing a black shirt, multicolored leggings, and white sandals. Police believe she may be in the Red Lake area. Anyone with information is urged to call police at this phone number, 218-333-9111.
Moorhead police are asking for your help locating this man, 29-year-old Joshua Potter. Potter has multiple open warrants, including first-degree burglary. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to call dispatch at the phone number on your screen, 701-451-7660.
Pennington County is about to be the first county in Minnesota to let callers stream live video and audio to dispatchers when they call 911 for help. The technology will be implemented later in August, and it should help dispatchers make better decisions in responding to emergency calls, such as car crashes and domestic incidents. A caller will dial 911 on a cell phone within the Pennington County service area. The dispatcher can send a text message to the caller's cell phone if they want to take over the caller's camera. The caller has the option to accept or decline. The emergency dispatcher would then be able to see wherever the caller points the camera. Pennington County is among about 15 locations across the nation that has begun implementing the technology, which was developed by Israel-based Carbine over the last year.
After several decades, the Youth Academy is back under North Dakota's Highway Patrol. In the 90s, it was called cadet training, and only family members were allowed in. Troopers say they like showing the next generation what law enforcement is all about.
We can give people knowledge about other things, not just what everybody sees law enforcement doing on a daily basis. All the other little things that we do that sometimes people just don't notice.
More than 15 students participated this year and graduated today. The teenagers say this program helps them see what's going to the academy and how it could potentially be lakes.
Troopers continue to report traffic stops from the first 2 days of the hands-free law. Preliminary numbers show that in the first 36 hours of the hands-free law, troopers stopped 162 drivers for violating the law. An officer with the Moorhead Police Department tells us they are happily surprised by the number of people who are following the new law. Yesterday, they gave out 16 warnings and 2 citations.
Don't forget about your pets, especially during extreme weather conditions. Last month, police in Fargo say that they responded to 59 welfare checks. That's up from 37 in June on animals left in a vehicle. The average temperature was 81 degrees, the highest day being 87. They advise that it's never a good idea to leave your animal alone, but if you do for a short period of time, make sure a window is cracked open or the air conditioning is left on. President Donald Trump today vowed to draw down the number of troops in Afghanistan. This as the U.S. is working on a potential deal with the Taliban to end America's longest war.
Richard Engel reports on the new questions being raised tonight.
Tonight, tentative progress to end the war in Afghanistan. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of peace talks between the U.S. and the Taliban tell NBC News the administration is prepared to withdraw thousands of American troops in exchange for concessions from the Taliban, including preventing Afghanistan from becoming a safe haven for terrorists, denouncing al-Qaeda, a ceasefire, and talks between the Taliban and the Afghan government. If met, the sources say the U.S. could draw down from 14,000 troops to between 8,000 and 9,000. The president today.
We're reducing it. We've been there for 19 years. We're really serving as policemen. We could win Afghanistan in 2 days or 3 days or 4 days if we wanted, but I'm not looking to kill 10 million people.
There are many skeptics who worry the Taliban can't be trusted and that President Trump is pushing for a deal for a political win, and that leaving too quickly could lead to political collapse, like what we saw when President Obama pulled out of Iraq.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, we had some spotty showers this evening, and as we take a look at our tower cam here, boy, look at that. A little sliver of the moon left, a few clouds out to the west. All in all, the rain showers are starting to wrap up. Here is a look at that radar. Most of them are on the Minnesota side of the river, although we see a couple of green blips here in eastern parts of North Dakota. No thunder and lightning left in our neck of the woods, but Becker County seeing a smattering of showers that stretch all the way through the Hubbard-Wadena County line, and a few more out to the west. Other than that, things are very high and dry as far as conditions go across the western and central Dakotas. That's setting the stages for a quiet start to your weekend. More on that momentarily. Right now, 74 degrees out at Hector International, 73 at Moorheads Airport. Dew point, it's 70. Now, what that dew point is we just have to cool this air from 74 down to 70 for this number, the relative humidity, to be 100%. So it's sticky out there. And here's a look at your hometown temperatures. The coolest out near the Bemidji and Wadena areas, upper 60s there. Everywhere else still in the 70s, minus Jamestown, also in the upper 60s. Hour-by-hour forecast shows our rain chances are done for the night for the most part, or they will wrap up quickly. Patchy areas of fog will be possible, and a possibility for some showers or rumbles of thunder in eastern South Dakota to begin the weekend. For us, temperatures rise from the 60s quickly to the 80s for many of us by the midday hour. Full sunshine, and it does look like wind will not be a factor as well. Heading into your afternoon, a look at the sizzle work its way in. Hottest weather on Saturday will be from right here in the Red River Valley and points east, 85 to 90 degrees. Thanks to a few more clouds out to the west, your temperatures will be closer to that 80-degree mark for the afternoon. But all in all, it looks quiet even into our Saturday night. So Fargo's planner looks like this: mid-60s to start, ramp it up into the mid-80s, and briefly a stint up in the upper 80s here in the FM area. South winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Your hometown forecast shows the cooler temperatures off to the west near 80. A lot of 80s in Lakes Country. Should be a great one to be out on the lakes. And the hot weather right here in the central Red River Valley. Here is the heart-shaped cloud. Dare I say we call that a cumulus cardiacus. Thanks, Chris, for uploading your photo near the Minot area. Sunday, it does look like a spotty thunderstorm or two will return to the forecast. Temperatures will be near 90 degrees once again. Now, Monday, a cold front makes its way through. A decent chance of some scattered showers as that occurs. Look at temperatures. They fall back into the low 80s. And for the rest of the week, it's looking like 70s will be on tap. By and large, things are looking pretty dry for next week, but I won't rule out a midweek shower on Wednesday. We'll keep you updated on that. All in all, a pretty fair forecast with a mix of something for everyone.
Maybe we'll need a chance to dry out by then anyway.
Yes, and Mike can get his shoveling done.
Yeah,
shoveling? How about just mowing? We'll just do mowing.
Stick with that for now.
Yeah. Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, being a social butterfly could help prevent dementia. The latest findings after this break.
You're watching